are back. We are also celebrating 10 fabulous seasons on our show. That's right, an entire decade. So that's why we decided to take a trip down memory lane and revisit 4 decades of fashion.
So it's time to dig out your platforms and your butterfly clips because throwback trends are making a comeback. Here with 4 decades of fashion reimagined is our favorite, Erica Wark.
Okay, Erica. Happy 10 years! Thank you!
Oh my gosh.
You've been here since the beginning.
OG, I'm an OG, baby.
She was the first day. She was
That's right.
on our very first episode.
I was on our very first episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
It feels just wonderful to be here, guys. I'm so happy.
Erica, we always love having you here, and let's dive in with the 70s. We're starting with that decade, one of my favorite. I literally have been a fan of this decade forever. Here's me as a teenager. Boho vibe. Today, this is just like a couple years ago. I love like flared pants, everything. Tell us about this decade in fashion.
Also, are you Benjamin Button? You're like
Yes.
reverse aging.
Same.
Sidebar. She
Same.
literally looks the same. Anyway, sorry. Your beauty is distracting me. So yeah, the 70s, man, what a fun era to dress. We're talking like Mick Jagger, we're talking Debbie Harry, we're talking like all of the icons, Farrah Fawcett. There were just so many amazing moments in the 70s, and I can't wait to show you what I got.
Okay, let's see the 70s fashion reimagined with a modern twist right now.
Yes.
Loved it.
She's hot.
So Jackie O in New York.
Totally. And I wanted to sort of pull the color palette that was synonymous with the 70s, which is sort of like those mustard colors, the shades of green, the beiges.
Like in a rec room, they'd look terrible, but in the 70s in fashion, they look amazing.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So this beautiful 2-piece set, this mini skirt and blazer set is from Toronto-based designer Ellie Mae, along with this beautiful luxe cream knit sweater underneath. I modernized it with a really beautiful classic car coat style in that gorgeous maroon shade. This is from Michael Kors. And then finish it with some other modern accessories like this patent leather bag with the chain detail. This is $75 from Aldo in that lovely khaki green. And then the same matching little shootie that are huge for fall. Love a good shootie moment.
It's called a shootie.
It's called a shootie because it's like a shoe and a bootie in one.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so it's a little shootie. Anyways, I just really love the 70s, and I love how they've found really interesting and modern takes on it for 2022.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Thank you. Love.
So that was the 70s.
Yep.
For me, it's the 80s. Because when
yeah.
I think of the 80s, I think of all the looks that I was obsessed with in Madonna's Borderline video,
Yes.
which is kind of how I try to dress half the time. So Erica, how would you sum up the 80s?
Oh man, I so feel you, Lainey. I love the 80s. I love the like sort of oversized feel. All the icons of the 80s, like Madonna, as you mentioned, Princess Diana, of course. You know, such major iconic moments. Mick Jagger, really, really wonderful moments. And again, so exciting to see it come back now.
Okay, well, let's see it come back on the social and bring back the 80s. Let's go!
Love this reveal.
Oh, wow!
Is it
Right, it's a Madonna Express video.
Full on. So good.
Wow. And the loafers. Yes, check.
All of the things.
Yes.
All of the things. So we're starting off with this really great 2-piece set from Eloquii, both under $100. We've got this really fabulous vest and matching wide leg trouser in that pinstripe, which is synonymous with the 80s, I feel. But again, done in a bit more of a modern cut. You'll also notice it's really fun satin finish on top.
That's part of the pants.
That's part of the pants.
Oh my God.
It feels a little bit homage to the 90s, which we'll get to. But I also love how we're seeing so many different fresh takes on old trends. And so this is really a fun look.
LL Cool J.
Yes. Absolutely. And the thing is, like, you could easily rock this to the office if you put like a crisp Oxford button down underneath. So there's just so many really fun ways to wear a suit. Over top, I styled it with an iconic red faux leather blazer. This is also from Eloquii. And then we did some beautiful layered jewelry to modernize it a little bit. This is from Missouri. And then finished it off with some, again, iconic sort of 80s inspired accessories. We did this sort of bag from for only $45.90 from Zara. And then, like you mentioned, Lainey, a really fun pair of lug sole loafers. These are everywhere this season in every color, and I can't get enough of them. They're so much fun.
Loafers with a kilt. I love this. It's so good.
So good.
Thank you. Love it.
My God, this is fun.
Well, if anybody's ever scrolling through Instagram, you know, or you go into any store for that matter, 90s fashion is really having a major moment. So what about this decade of fashion just keeps coming back?
So I sort of grew up in the 90s. I'm a child of the 80s, but grew up in the 90s, and I loved the 90s fashion, and I'm really glad it's back. I know sometimes we feel like, oh God, like I remember wearing that when I was this age, but I kind of love it. I mean, hello, Spice Girls.
Yes.
And you know, your very favorite J-Lo, and of course Jennifer Aniston. Like, there's just so many iconic 90s moments, and I'm glad it's back.
I'm glad it's back. So we want to see this in the flesh. Let's bring out our next model with 90s fashion reimagining.
Corset top.
Of course.
Duck shoes.
Yeah, the little bag, the baguette. You know, she back.
Sorry.
This is so Jennifer Aniston from the Friends era.
For sure.
Yeah.
But again, like a little bit more modernized. So I really love this this corset-inspired top. This is from Zara for $45, done in a really great white satin. So again, you can dress it up, dress it down. As I said before with that vest, you could also throw an Oxford shirt underneath that as well to make it a little bit more 9 to 5 moment. I did an oversized classic black blazer. This one's 108 from Oak and Fort. And then we added this really fun high-rise faux leather pant. This is done in a really beautiful shade of blue. Again, it's got that classic cut, but the color is what makes it fresh for now. And then of course the same color in that cute little baguette bag. And then of course we couldn't talk about the 90s without talking about a platform heel. These ones are only $45 from Zara.
Love it.
Loves it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cynthia.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Okay, this is super exciting. The next decade is the 2000s, and here I am in all my glory in the actual Y2K 2000 year, still very much in a Run Lola Run phase.
Yes.
Nike Air Haramas. If I still had them, I'd be very rich. And then Mountain Equipment Co-op bag. So do you guys dig this look?
I love this look. I also love that hair on you, just as a
my
sidebar. No, I
gosh.
do. It's so good. Listen, Y2K, we're talking like Britney Spears era now, Christina
Yes.
Aguilera, Destiny's Child, Paris and Nicole. Now, granted, a lot of this I really don't want to come back in style, but thankfully some of the good pieces have come back in style, and I think you're going to love this next look.
Oh my God, well, let's see it. Come on down.
The best of Y2K.
Yes.
Like no one needs to see a low rise anymore.
No.
With the thong over top at the hip. No, thank you.
Mel's not convinced.
Well, Mel's not. Maybe Mel wants it, but I mean, for the rest of us, I'm more about this sort of layered look, which is so fun, very collegiate.
Yes.
Y2K was also very collegiate moments. We did this really fun bone look frames on her, which I love, Montreal-based designer. Then we did a really fun layered look. We did an oversized vest for only $24.99 from Winners. Then I layered it with an oversized Oxford underneath, also for only $24.99 from Winners. Finished off with a really great pair of sort of mom-inspired loose fit
Yeah, what are
style
these
jeans.
jeans? I need them.
These are also from Winners, $24.99.
Wow.
A little bit of a drop crotch moment, really into it, and then again modernized it a little bit with this really great plaid coat, also under $100 for Winners, and then finished it off with a cute little bagu for under $40 from Zara, and a fun pair of kicks for also for under $100 from Zara.
So good. You know what? All of these looks are so great. Let's bring them all back on out. Bring them back out. Yes. All right, friends. So some good news for all of you, our studio audience, because it's time to do a little shopping. You're going home with a $50 gift card from our friends at Winners. Okay, so we've got all the looks. On the next segment, you need to top it right. Amazing hairstylist extraordinaire Janet Jackson is here. She's going to show us all the fall hair trends to complement your favorite decade. That's next.
Hey there! Wasn't that great? Do you know where you can find some equally good content? our YouTube page. It's filled with discussions, debates, and some laughs. Head there now, like and subscribe.